Hey, hey, singers. I'm super excited today. We have a very, very special guest. We're going to be doing an episode and an interview to just kind of talk all things straw phonation with touring artists. And who better to talk about that with than the fabulous, the talented, the beautiful Amy Chapman.
Oh, hi, Whitney. I'm so excited to be
Hi.
here.
I'm so happy to have you. We have done a few little interviews back and forth through the years, but in case somebody lives under a rock and doesn't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, where you're based, and just all of your
You
magic?
got it. My name is Amy. I am a vocal coach and a voice therapist in Los Angeles. I work with a lot of big pop stars and rock stars and really cool singers and anybody who's got kind of like a rough and tumble kind of voice and all the textures and qualities, which might mean that something is going on a little bit unsavory on your vocal cords. I help those people. I help them prep for tour. I help them while they're on tour. I help them get their voice strong for a big show, and I love what I do. I'm really grateful to do it, and it's a lot of fun. I work with a lot of really cool people. Yeah, that's my thing.
I love it. You're just having a blast, living the life, and you're not teaching perfect technique. You're working with people who are really doing it, but like you said, with rough and tumble voices, right? Like a little bit of like rawness, a little bit of
It,
edge.
that's
We're
that's
not
all I
like,
do is edge, essentially. And I
mm-hmm,
don't have
mm-hmm.
an edgy voice. You can hear my voice is like a very clear, very crystal. I always wanted that, but I don't have it. But a lot of the artists I work with do have it. Not all of them. Some people have like that crystal clear musical theatery pingy tone, and that's fine. I help them too. But a lot of my singers are the people who have something with their voice that you hear it and you're like, yes, there's a quality to that like I personally I love to listen to. I love I love a breathy tone. I love a gruff tone. I love somebody that like
Little
a
growl.
growl. Give me that. It's
Mm-hmm.
not good for your voice, but it's good for the soul.
Yes, it is. Because this is exactly why I love you so much. Because for me, artists, musicians that I vibe with and want to listen to and, follow and I'm obsessed with are not the ones with the perfect voice who hit the notes exactly crystal clear or have the true ah vowel perfectly done. I could care less. It's the singers and the artists and the musicians that like make me feel something. And oftentimes that's through a little bit of pain and soul and like
Push.
reality and real world, right? And so I think this is why I personally didn't ever think I would be a vocal coach in my life. Like that was if you had told me that when I was 10, I would never have believed you. And I totally want to hear your story as to how you ended up in this career because I feel like maybe we're similar. But I would never have believed it because when I was younger, the types of voice teachers I was exposed to all followed like a very clear prescription. Right. And it's like, these are the types of songs you learn to sing. These are the arias. This is the way to do it. This is the way you create sound. There's absolutely no belting and no like riffing or soul. That for me was just like not resonating at all. And so it wasn't until I was older that I realized, oh, there are teachers that actually teach the types of singers that I admire and that move me as an audience or as a listener, right? So tell us a little bit about how did you end up in this? Did you think that you were going to be a vocal coach, Amy? Mm-mm.
Never, because those who can't do teach. And I was like, I can do. And then I was a singer. I was a singer. I went to a performing arts high school. It's called OSHA. I loved it. It was an awesome experience. I went to UCLA for musical theater. I was like, I'm going to be a Broadway star. And then it wasn't like until a couple years in when I went, I don't want to do this. I love singing. It's my entire life. It's my entire personality. Everybody knows me for it. And I don't want to do this as my profession because there's nothing like killing something you love and making it your job. And I was like, I don't want it to be my job. That's not for me. Some people, and I had a master class with Annette Benning when I was in college, who said, if you guys can do anything else in this world, do it. And I was like, boom, that's it. Because this world of performing, of singing, of acting, of all of it is for the people who are like, this is it. I can't live without doing this. And for me, I love teaching. And it's like such a, there's an art to teach. You get to be a therapist. I call myself a coachapist because we do it all. You like help people through times in their life and stressful times, and you help them sing and you help them emote. I mean, I have a box of tissues sitting right here that I refill every week because everybody's always crying. Half the time I'm crying with them. It's something else. So after college, after Annette told me my little piece of advice, I went to grad school for speech pathology. I grew up in a very medical family. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, my cousin's a doctor, my brother's a doctor. Like everybody's medical in my family, and I always thought of myself as a healer. I love to heal, I love to take care, and just with my background in singing and my love for healing and teaching, it was just a perfect mix. So I started with
Oh my gosh, I
an
love it.
injured singer, and I started working with a voice doctor in LA, and I was taking care of all the injured singers. And then sometimes it gets a
Hmm.
little too much of like just injury and despair, and I was losing that creative side of me that I had fostered my entire life. And so it was, how do I bring in some of that creativity? How do I start coaching more instead of just healing and fixing? How about like, you're not broken. We just need to like have you sing. So I am a total renegade in what I do. I have a lot of people who get mad at me, and you know you're doing something right when people are mad at you.
Bingo.
and and I just started doing what I do, and I find myself doing a lot of very almost like intuitive healing and intuitive coaching that's based in a scientific evidence-based practice. So I take that
Yes.
stuff and I'm like, what can we do? Because it's an art. Singing's an art. And we can't forget that. And we can't forget that there's not one right way how to do something. There just isn't. There's
Hmm.
not one right technique. There's not one right exercise. There's not one right way to belt. There just isn't. There's so many different ways. And if there was one right way, it would be so boring. Like if everybody's hitting in that same way, I'm out. I don't want to hear it.
It loses all its magic. It loses all its magic. I'm like so 1000% with you.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
ridiculous. And when you say you're a voice therapist, I almost made the joke like, so tell us what that is. Does that mean that you truly are? But like, it's so true. You need those tissue boxes, right? Songbird Studios that we have them in every room. Like it's on our stock list that we keep tissues in the
It's right
studio.
here all the time. Everyone's crying
Yes.
all the time. All the time. And like,
And it's because music brings this out in us, right? Like the sharing songs and like singing, it is so vulnerable,
I am
right? And so it opens up parts of you that you didn't even realize. Like you didn't, I have people who walk in, they're like, I haven't cried in years. I don't know why. I'm all of a sudden crying. I literally have no idea why.
I love crying. I love it. You know, when everybody goes through dry January, I heard someone was like, this is called cry January. It's like, yes.
The mix of seasonal depression and, you know,
Put it all in there. But yeah, if we're all the same, what is it? I'm bored. I even like, so I have a hard time listening to some voices who are like a little too rough and a little too gruff because I feel it. I'm very empathetic with how
Mhm.
people are using their voice, and it almost, I'm like, don't do that. I can feel that, but it's also like I would have it no other way. You want to feel uncomfortable. You want to feel that that release after. You want to be like, oh my god, are they going to hit that note? I do not think, and then they hit it. You're like, oh yeah, and it's that release of emotion. It's all that magic stuff that makes a voice so incredible. That's beyond just the ga 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 ga. Like there's so much more than all of it. But also the gagas are really important too because
They're
they're
important.
so important.
Yes.
You have to be able to do it all and then forget it and then
Yes.
just be vulnerable. So I I don't mean to discount the things that I do, the things that you do. They're all so important to strengthen and teach somebody about their voice, but they should be learning on the gus and the buzz and the brrr and all the straws and all the things. They should be learning how their voice works with that stuff and then
Yep.
go and then be an
Yeah.
artist. We are all
Hmm.
artists. If you want to sing, you are an artist. That's it. So that's
Preach. I mean, yes, this is exactly what I'm saying. It is so true. And it is so easily forgotten if you go air one way or the other, right? No training, no technique, no nothing. You can go a little bit on that, right? Like at some point in your life, you can kind of get away with some of it. But there will come, if you have a long career, there will come a point in time where that injury will catch up to you and something will happen. And you need to know how to get yourself back. But if on the other side, if all you're doing is training, 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 you lose the
Yes.
magic, right?
Yes.
You lose the
Right.
magic. And nobody wants that. That's the last thing I want is to take someone's spark away by telling them they can't sing a certain way. Come on now.
Right. Sing it,
You know?
sing it. And also, like you were saying, like people can be good without lessons. We've seen so many people. We're like, you're great. But then you also think about it like, what makes you great? Who are you listening to? What's your inspiration? So you're essentially teaching yourself. So it's not like you're just born with no inspiration, with no nothing. Like, no, it's not that. There's something teaching you. What is it? And so you get to a certain place, you're like, now I need somebody else to teach me. Even for me, I stopped hearing my own voice. And one of my best friends lives right around the corner, and she's also a voice teacher and a jazz singer. And I'm like, okay, tell me. All right, Sarah, tell me how I'm gonna sing. How does this sound? And I trust her. You need somebody else because we just can't hear ourselves that way anymore.
Absolutely. So I would love to kind of dive just a little bit, speaking of things that we keep in our studio at all times, and talk a little bit about the singing straw, because I know that you
That
are
I keep
a
right
lover.
here at all times.
I love it. I love it. And you have done some of my favorite reels on the singing straw because you make me laugh every single time. So, yeah, if you're not following Amy on Instagram, you need to. She's a great follow. So, tell me, how do you integrate straw phonation and the singing straw specifically in your work with
Okay,
artists?
so there's so many reasons why I use the straw and love the straw, and I'm not just telling you because you're sitting right in front of me and I love you. But I mean, because I would use plastic straws before the singing straw was created,
That's right.
and it worked enough, but it was also like kind of gross, and also the world is ending. We don't need to put more plastic junk into the ocean. So this is like my number one. Like I'm recycling. Like this is
Look at you
my
go.
uh,
Love it.
but truthfully, I use it for everybody and every reason always because it's better than a lip trill, which we all do that. But it's the semi-occluded equivalent of like lifting weights, of strengthening your voice. I say it strengthens your voice, it relaxes your voice, it makes your riffs better, it makes your runs better, it makes your voice release, it makes it loud. It's like all the things in one that I am obsessed with. So I use it as a warm up. I will start everything. Everybody's like, brought my straw, and they all bring their straw. And so we start the exercises with that. And sometimes it's just like, let's start something. And it's like for my lungs, my voice. And I tell everybody, your voice, this is not real life. How you sound in a straw is not how you're going to sound. So it's going to be awful. It's going to be clunky and weird, and everybody kind of freaks out. And then you take the straw away, and you're like, oh my God, that's not so bad. But I'll always start with just a like so easy, glide it up, start moving, and then just go with it. And it brings your lungs, all the blood is coming to your lungs and they're pumping and they're working. And I always say it's like pushing a rock up a mountain with a backpack on, and then you drop the rock and you drop the backpack, and then you're like, oh my God, this mountain is really easy. I could just like sprint up. And that's what it is for me and all of my clients. So
I love that metaphor. I'm totally going to borrow that.
yes. Yeah, I use it all the time. I'm like, that's just the one that comes up. I'm like pushing the rock, drop the rock, and then you're like soaring. And it's so easy. And especially since I work with a lot of singers who are having a tough time. It's usually someone who has a problem. And that's how people mainly find me. And then they just sometimes stick with me because they're like, oh, you get it. You get what my voice goes through. And you understand that it's not just like, I can hit that note. It's like, I can't. I have an issue. And with everybody, like surgeries, pre-surgery, use the straw. Post-op, use the straw. Nodules, use the straw. Trouble with my range, use the straw. got a, thyroidectomy, use the straw. Doesn't matter what it is, use the damn straw. I'm always pitching this straw. I love it.